Please excuse the noise. I have a helper in the shop. What we're going to do is we're going to autopsy a Sears model 888.58801, probably better known as a 636A adding machine. Well, you can see it's kind of pulled out of the woods. So first we're going to put power to it and see what happens there. I do not have the plug. I'm going to take a gamble and say that the outer two are power and the inner one is a ground. Nothing but the highest quality insulating tools for us here. Well, Daddy's about to put this together and we're going to see if we blow a breaker. Are you ready? Ooh, that's a good sign. Train's making the camera shake. Here's how it works. You've got 2 spots before the decimal and 5 locations after. Those are your places before and after the decimal. And so each number you push moves it over 1 spot. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 7 there, but I can add another 7. Multiply it's, I think, allowing me to do a series, and then that comes back when I reset it, and clearing is as simple as shoving that sideways. So that's the way that works. Maybe I should go check really quick and find out if this thing has any value on the internet before I tear it to shreds. Okay, so I just got back from the wonderful land of eBay, and there was a crap ton of these on there. The most expensive was about $100. The least expensive was $9. The $9 one didn't have a cord, so they couldn't test it. The mean is about $40. None of which were selling, so screw it. Hey, thank you. It's not like our example is perfect or even nice. I don't have the manuals. It spent some time in the rain. It's a little beat up on the outside. Clearly, this. There you go. Push that. Push it again. Clearly, this is a fantastic one to take apart. If you collect these and you're worried that I'm about to commit a mortal sin, oh, be quiet. You know deep down you want to see inside. You want to open up the dirty, dirty girl. You want to see what makes her tick. You know that. So shut up. Also, I just made yours more valuable. It's so weird to not have a screen, to not know what numbers I have previously typed. I mean, I guess they would have come up on the ticker, and I guess the ribbon sort of works, because you can see there it's sort of printed some sort of numbers, but this is the full extent of the paper I have for it. So, all right, girl, one last time. Say sweet sayonara because you are being unplugged for the final time. Hey, should we sing to it? No? All right. So, fasteners. Oh. Oops. All right, to take it apart, you got this button right here. This big, sensuous. Oh Oh, that's a nice button. And you push that button and then the whole top lifts right off this sultry, sultry adding mistress. And you're left with that. I figured it was a big solenoid that operated the unit, but it's not. It's actually a motor. So things that pop into view right off the bat. You've got a set of spools right here with pinch clips. Oh, pinch clips, you just pull them backwards and they pop off. And then your reels slide off right here. Now, if anybody has one of these machines and needs this reel, too damn bad. All right, inside. There's not much to it. It looks a lot like an old electric typewriter, which I suppose makes a heck of a lot of sense. Power comes in. That center line was ground. It goes and splits itself between a big ceramic resistor here in the back and an electric motor down here, which does not appear to be a servo motor of any kind. It appears just to be a regular electric motor. You want to play with that? You can play with that. Knock yourself out. I believe to detach this mess, I pull those screws right there. Nothing there. It just glued itself down, that's all. I think we need to see this thing function from the underside. Boy, it hits hard. You gotta be careful. Only touch the button. So we've got a cam gear here, goes around, smacks that rod back. So it's clear what's happening as you push these numerals, what you're doing is you're setting on these cams the places for this set of print heads. And when I hit this wheel, it flips up and whacks in the proper location.
Daddy, could you help me cut this in half?
Yeah.
Could you cut this in half for me?
I'm thinking we need to set up the high-speed camera, buddy. What do you think?
Daddy, cut this in half and it won't be heavy anymore.
Okay. So here we've got, you can't see it, but I got the Edgertronic high-speed camera set up, and I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that'll be all of the places it has, and then I'm gonna trigger the camera and hit the addition sign. Are we ready? This is at 400 frames a second, and you can clearly see those rods set the discs, make it stamped, and backs off. This one is at 800 frames a second, slowing it down a little bit more. You can see the wheels set themselves, and it stamps and drops down. What's interesting is it has an 8th digit, but doesn't use it. Down inside here, we have a series of keyed ways. Basically, it looks like a saw. And every time I push down a number, it sets on that way the location, bless you buddy, of that number. So I push 2, 4, 9, 7, 0, 3, 6, 5. Well, the 5 didn't count because I'd already done 7 places. So each one of these ways is marked. When I trigger the unit, it will shove all these ways forward. They hit these rollers right here, and those rollers, which are locked solid right now, they roll. So basically the unit, as it drives forward on the motor, sets each place on the roller. Then this thing will come slamming down. I've removed the top cover to give you a better view. And you'll watch that I've got the numbers already set. And when it shoves forward those rods, which it's about to do, it'll do so at different lengths. That is how it sets the wheels. And then it comes back. Here I've slowed the process down even further to help you get a really good look at what's going on. In the left-hand side, you will watch those gear rollers drop down. They then drive, the lower roller anyways, the lower gear, drives the rods forward. The patten comes down. Then it rolls back to reset. Now that we've uncovered and figured that out, okay, that's good, buddy. I want to see if there's a way that I can get into the bottom so we can watch how it selects individual numbers. But I unfortunately am not seeing any way for us to get in there and see that. Camera. By holding this button down and advancing the big wheel with my finger, I was able to trigger it. And so here we've got it stopped mid-strike. So there's the pattern right there. I still can't really see down inside as to how it's triggering this. And I'm trying to figure out if I can lift off the number pad, but there doesn't appear to be any way to lift off the number pad. So there's the numbers I've got selected. So there it just reset itself. I need you to do some more sanding on that table.
Daddy, you're making me freaking out.
How come?
But these boards are heavy.
Well, they need to be sanded. You can't take those boards inside. They're not. Stop. They're not done at all, and this is in no way just an attempt to stall you and keep you here while I keep working. Ooh, it's going to have some nice screws in it. We're just going to pull it. We're just going to take the whole thing apart and see if we can figure out how to make it go in pieces. These are kind of cool. It's a series of mechanical wedges driven in to hold the two pieces together. Did I miss any? Yeah, I missed one. And it's got a contact down here that was tripped by this counterweight that flipped up like so. So it's only got blades. It's only got blades there and there. And then this flipped out, triggering that what I assume was the return switch, which was located right here. And I think it, boom, boom. That's what I think was going on. No, it couldn't be, because it's not a reversing motor. It's not a DC motor. It's an AC motor. So it must just be circulating, and it triggers that every revolution. Got to have some way to time these. Just gonna ruin all these springs. I know they're useful, but I don't actually have a use for them. Boy, it's awful quiet. Those of you that are parents will recognize that sound as ominous. Especially with a little guy like mine, who's pretty sure that if Daddy can do it, he should be able to do it. Oh, there's like a clock gear right there. Sawtooth gear. Well, if you ever needed E-clips, this would be a heck of a place to get them. Oh, that's way too quiet. I'm gonna have to go yell at somebody. Your saber? I believe your pirate sword is downstairs.
Go back down there.
You can go down by the fire and get your pirate sword. Deal?
Okay.
But you come back up.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Is that the patent trigger? Look at that. It's a series of overlapping. How do I get this? It's a series of overlapping dog catchers. See that? Each one overlaps the next. So that is each place value, one after another. So you can't bring that place value down. What would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be the tens column. You can't bring that down without entering numbers in the other 4, which is probably essential to the adding mechanism. Hey, alright, so there's the main drive with, oops, I never put it back into focus, I'm sorry. There's the main drive with the ellipticals, like a cam. So as it spins and turns, this actuates the various little rods and mechanisms it needed to actuate to do the things it was doing.
I want to see this candle.
You found a broken bucket?
Uh-huh. Let's run to this candle. So, and I probably passed by it, and then I picked it up.
Well, it's a good thing you hauled it up here.
And then I have to...
Kid you not. Grew up on a farm. Go figure, right? Oh, there it is. There's that controller. How do I get it out of there? My father used to get cars, you know, we'd sell scrap. And he'd get a car and give it to us kids to dismantle. And he always said it was the best investment he ever made because then we weren't breaking good stuff. And I suppose we learned how to take cars apart, which has on occasion come in handy. It's right there. I can taste it. Get out. There's the number box. Look at that thing. I haven't got a clue how it works, but it's very cool. Right? Oh, okay. I'm getting it. Now, obviously, I've pulled these things to pieces so they can't really function anymore. But this is what triggered the dog catchers. Right? So you can see the little teeth on there. So as you pushed a number, this would be top, it triggered some of these catches on whatever row it was. And then when it ran, these things locked those numbers in position. At the end of its cycle, this rod right here, which is unfortunately, I may have taken it apart a little abruptly, that would reset them. Oh, that's cool. This is such cool mechanical engineering. That's how it worked. Look at this complicated little machine at the heart of something simply designed to add and subtract. I think that's going to be saved. That'll go in the wall of wonder. And then when somebody comes and asks about it 15 years from now, I can say, oh gee, I have no idea what that is. That's a keeper right there. Very cool. I knew we'd find out eventually. Here's the back side. Oh, is that going to come apart on me? It fell apart on me. I'm sorry. That mess, that was the back side of the number pushy part, but it fell apart. There were these things in there that did stuff, and it was all like, cool, man. But they're gone. Nowhere near as cool as this, which is, well, in a computer, it would be a grid of ones and zeros, wouldn't it? Because this is the little grid that's kind of holding, mechanically holding, those places for the addition. And here are empty slots for another place. Ooh. You could have 8 numbers. I bet that calculator cost extra. Alright, so now we're in here and you can see how moving what I'm calling the dog catchers there. Come on, get back. How that slides the figure. So there's everything set to 0. And of course, you would do your typey. This thing would hold your numbers for you. This thing would hold the dog. Well, this thing would hold the thing that holds your numbers. And then when the motor it just spun, right, and yanked these forward to that gap that you can see right there. At which point, well, no, that's the zero out gap. It would yank them forward off of this, off of this drive spindle right here. So these things would be yanked forward, setting the numbers wherever they needed to be set. And then the patent would come down, whack, stamp it, because there's the ribbon to go behind, and then the whole system would reset itself.
One more time, a gratuitous high-speed shot, now that you understand how it works.
You found me a log?
I need a log you cut down.
Oh. Do you think there's a reason that Daddy needed a log up here? Why is that?
That log was on the original. This is not counting on us to do it.
Nessie's counting on us to get the log. For those that don't know, and none of you would obviously, Nessie is the dog.
This is the girl dog.
Nessie is a girl dog, yep.
Daddy, please help me some of that snow. Please help me some of that big sawdust snow.
Maybe I could be arranged to do that. You know, there's more to be taken apart on this, but I believe we have sourced out how it actually functioned with a combination of mechanical dog catchers, a mechanical place value computer, which is the coolest part of the whole thing, a buttload of springs, a container load of E-clips, a bunch of rods, a bunch of actuators, and one very freaky motor. We'll definitely have to spin that up on Blue Smoke. But for the rest of you, if you hung in this long, God bless. Thanks for watching. But I love you, but I need you not right here. Does that make sense? Yeah, it won't stop there. Okay, which doesn't play nicely with stuff. Oh. Well, I'm going to redo that. No one's ever going to know I had no frickin' clue how to take this apart.